Sorry, I turned that off, but we're about to begin. Hello, BronyCon! Welcome to Daughter of Discord behind the scenes. If you don't know what Daughter of Discord is, it is an audio drama on YouTube based on My Little Pony. And
go watch it.
Yeah, and we're just gonna introduce ourselves. I'm Dizzy Fanatic 2364, the writer, creator.
We love you! We love you, DF!
I pretty much just made the whole thing.
She created an empire, essentially.
Basically. Hi, I'm Victoria, or VCM1824. I am one of the many artists that do the art for the audio drama. And fun fact, this was my very first My Little Pony project.
Yeah.
Hey there, truesailorcomet here, and I play Lightning Dash and Adult Scootaloo and the evil queen, Chrysalis.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a fun Friday morning. I'm Katie Patterson. I play the voices of Screwball, I play Apple Blossom, and as of the finale, I also play the voice of Fluttershy. Do you think we're missing somebody?
Will!
Yeah.
Hello, everyone! It obviously has my name.
Discord, not that we're not happy to have you here, but I think we're looking for somebody else.
I agree! Terrible AC under there. Hello, everybody. I am DaWillstanator, otherwise known as Thespio, and I am the voice of Discord! Excuse me, you little copycat! What are you doing here? I was the original! Well, I took your place and made it better!
We also have some other bride and daughter of Discord cast and crew members. If you could just stand up for a moment, give a round of applause for them. We did have a sixth panelist, Cougar Macdowall, VA, who voices Cinnamon Stick, but unfortunately, due to circumstances, it appears he was not able to make it today.
Everyone together.
Yeah, well, I say hi back. If you're watching, I'm wearing your badge, Pokey. Okay, yeah, it's a sheep. But okay, so to get us started, how many of you have seen Bride or Daughter of Discord?
Yes!
None of you? Okay. Looks like we'll have to re-educate people again!
we have some newbies here. So what we do, we write in Daughter of Discord. They are fan fiction audio dramas, and an audio drama is like going with the old-timey radio play, pretty much television without the vision part, though we do have some artwork for ours. Yeah. And talk about like hundreds of pictures that I had to edit in the last episode. It was worth it!
So beautiful.
Okay, so to start off, to start an audio drama, first of all, obviously you need a story. And yeah, it was easy for me because I started out with Bride of Discord, which was already a fan fiction that I'd written out. I had the entire story written out, so easy peasy, right? Like you just copy all the dialogue, right? So first of all, writing a novel is not the same as writing a script. For one thing, formatting is different. As one example, this is a little sneak peek at one of the shorts that we are releasing this year. Okay. Yeah, so first of all, since you are writing for only sound, you need to include extra things, like assuming there is no artwork, then the people watching or listening rather are not going to know who is talking. I mean, this is a fan-made audio drama with already pre-established characters, so you might recognize a voice, but considering for Daughter of Discord, we had a lot of original characters. We had to like start off with like, every time a new character was introduced, you had to go like, oh hi, Lightning Dash, hi Screwball, hi, nice to meet you. Okay, now you know their names, and now when you hear them speak, you know who's talking, most of the time. And also, when actions are happening, you gotta give a little bit of action, like, hey, come over here for a moment, look at this book that I just found. It sounds a little awkward, but it's necessary in order to set up the scene, or even just some sound effects might help, like if you're outside, you know, tweeting birds, and oh, now everybody knows we're outside, it's a sunny day.
It all comes together to help establish not just the story, but the setting in which the story is taking place.
Setting atmosphere.
That atmosphere.
Yeah, and when you're writing a series, one thing that was really different when I had to go back and reread my original fanfic to decide what will work for the audio drama, what doesn't work, some scenes that were kind of problematic and now I'm only just realizing it, and that I cut out, or some characters that were unnecessary, or I just felt they shouldn't be there because I wrote Daughter of Discord in 2013, and so much has happened in the show since then, such as Cadence of Shining Armor's baby is not named what I named mine. And I have not shipped Flash and Twilight since Rainbow Rocks, so bye-bye Flash.
Sweet!
Yeah. And another thing, when you're writing a series, like, especially a mini-series like this, it is one big story, but each episode kind of, well, the way I wrote it, each episode had a theme. I think the most obvious one was episode 6. It was like, you know, fights, which is pretty much all episode 6. Lots of fights between family members, between lovers. That was, and then fights and making up, and a whole song about making up.
Daughter of Discord, the soap opera.
And then I also thought about what the story was as a whole for the entire series. I realized that what?
Don't worry, the lights, they do that.
Discord!
They do that.
It's atmosphere.
Sorry!
Yeah, when going over the fanfic, I realized Daughter of Discord is mostly about family, and rather what you inherit from your family, and it helped me rewriting the dynamic between Mothball and Screwball, who, yes, they're the ship.
OTP!
Yeah, like Screwball, she's the daughter of Discord and Fluttershy, and she, like, you know, she has powers, but she doesn't want to hurt any pony like her dad did in the past. And then there's Mothball, who's the son of Chrysalis, and yeah, that's a lot of baggage. And he doesn't want anything to do with what his mother has planned. And like there was like one scene in particular where, you know, with that in mind, where Screwball is saying to Mothball, like, what you are doesn't label who you are. Like, I am the daughter of the Lord of Chaos, but that doesn't mean I'm going to take over Equestria someday. And I'm also the daughter of the element of kindness, but that doesn't mean I'm this nice to every pony. Though I guess I'm a little bit of both, but I'm also me. So that's what I liked about Screwball and Mothball. Like, they were kind of like their parents in a way, but they also had the choice to choose their own destinies, as you've seen in flashbacks of Chrysalis. Mothball is actually kind of like Chrysalis, but not in a way that she shows.
She kind of follows more her mother's path a little bit more.
Yeah, but you know, in the beginning she was kind of shy and also love-struck. Yeah. Okay, so once you have your story, your script, this is only, what you see here is just a format I've only recently been using. Pretty much just, you know, have your characters have stage directions, or rather voice directions, or little notes for the actors if you feel they are necessary. Though you should have trust in your actors in conveying emotion. Though if it's not obvious, like if you need to write shouting or whispering, then you should definitely put that in there. And then you want to go to casting, and you want to set up a casting call.
Those are all just fun.
Yep. Yeah.
Tell us again, how many casting auditions did you get for Daughter of Discord alone?
I believe it was in the 2000s. Including the third round, you know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
PDF file.
okay, so originally finding voice actors, like for My Little Pony, you want to, for pre-established canon characters, you want to find someone who not only sounds like the voice, but can convey the right emotion, like Will here with Discord. Yes, Big Apple Pie, I heard that cough.
Yeah, if I may add on to that, as someone who actually also acts professionally in Los Angeles, I get this, like as a voice actor myself, I've seen a lot of people say, oh, you know what, I could do a good impression of, you know, such and such character or such and such celebrity. And I'm like, okay, that's very nice. Can you act? Because a very, very common misconception that I hear all the time is that voice acting, it's still acting, and the voice is just a part of the character. The voice doesn't make the character, you acting makes the character, especially having to go through what's going on in the story, what emotions they're going through, and just how they connect with the other characters. Acting is what solidifies you as a voice actor, not just the voice. The voice is just a layer of the character that you're playing. You still need to put the emotion into it.
Yeah, like what made me cast Big Apple Pie initially was that he scared me in his audition. and with Will, he made me cry.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I don't know if we mentioned this last year we were here, but in episode 7 we actually had like a group recording, and the part where, spoilers if you haven't seen the episode, where Chrysalis is disguised as Discord, that scared the out of me.
Yeah, I got to get in touch with my inner Chrysalis, and like these two directed me on how, like at the very least, how she portrays it, and yeah, I just went with it and had a blast, and yeah, I managed to successfully creep people out, and that's the side of it.
His fiance. Like really smooth and really articulate, then all of a sudden give a bite.
Yes, I would prefer that very much so.
But with Daughter of Discord, casting was a lot harder, not just because of the number of auditions, but because there were a lot of original characters who didn't have a pre-established voice, so I had to listen to like 50 different versions of the same character. Yeah. So when you're making a casting call, you wanna, post a video or job posting on YouTube or whatever job site you're doing. You're going to be doing this on, and you want to give. And for an online project, you want to give a description of the character, their age, like not saying the voice actor has to necessarily be that age, but at least convey that age. And here's an example. One of the characters, Lightning Dash, like it says here, one of the Dash twins, Rainbow Dash's twins, Lightning is just as fast and spunky as her parents and twin brother, though of the twins, she has the most common sense. She and Thunder are always competing against each other, and they have been friends with Screwball and Pinky for a long time, have always had their backs, and her voice should be tomboyish and chill. So yeah, a little background of the characters, so the actor knows what the character is about, and some notes on what the voice, what I, the director, expect the voice to sound like to give them an idea, and the result you get.
Hey there, what's up? Hey, Aquafresh! I have a crush on you. Hi. Ship confirmed.
Yeah, I know Screwball was like one of the hardest to go through because that got like the most auditions, and a lot of them were really good. Yeah, I was looking for someone mischievous, but also be able to be kind. I had like a lot of sample lines for this one because it had to be at age 10, age 15. I wasn't sure if I wanted the same voice actor to be both ages, and
I don't know how I managed to pull off both.
I did.
I'll pull off both. I don't know how I did.
Yeah, and some characters I had to do a lot of thinking for, but some characters like with Screwball, as soon as I heard the voice, I'm like, that's the one. Like,
You get this thing! Yeah!
I feel like how you came up with the voice is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's more of a demonic Pinkie Pie in a sense. You said.
So how I generally come up with voices, especially if they're brand new characters that have never been established before, is I try to find, stop that! I try to find inspiration from like other characters that have been established from different TV shows, or I find archetypes that I can relate to and I can convey. Like for instance, for Apple Blossom, I basically try to do a Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind, and she looked at it and she twins.
ended up making her a lot more sassier than I pictured.
And then for Screwball, I actually had different components. The first one was her regular speaking voice. I wanted her to have the chaotic element of Discord, but still have the soft, simple element that Fluttershy had. And so I got that mixing up, got that roughness sound. To me, it sounds like a slightly more demented Pinkie Pie. And then for her laugh, I knew it had to be like completely chaotic because that's Screwball. And so this idea just popped into my head and I just ran with it. And it's basically a female John Delancey mixed with Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. It works. It worked. I ran with it and then I'm just like,
When you're giving sample lines for the actors to read, you want them to be of different emotions. And if you'll notice here, I have like crazily, curiously, sadly, especially with Screwball, because she can kind of go a 180 every now and then.
She has like a wide variety of emotions throughout this whole project. And
Yes, and Katie did it all well.
I was just like, to me, the biggest compliment anyone has anyone really given me is, especially during the first episode, and my mom gave this to me, and I'm like, yes. I was like, hey, when you started crying as Screwball, I nearly started crying, and I'm like, I make you feel emotion!
like if anything, if the audience can feel the same emotions as the character on screen or the one that you're listening to, that's the sign of a good performance. If the audience can feel with you.
That and try to take real life experiences too into account. Like whenever you feel a certain emotion, try to recreate that emotion. Try to think of that time where that made you feel
Like, for example, when in the last episode where you feel like that unbridled rage and everything, you're like, you rejected me! And I'm like, okay!
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes editing for me so hard because I'm like, doing my computer thing and I'm crying or freaking out. I'm freaking out, but I need to edit the next line. I'm freaking out more.
Like a thing that I've learned, like from acting, because I came from a very extensive theater background. I do a lot of film as well, and one of the styles that I generally do whenever I'm acting is, it's actually something I picked up from my teacher, is living truthfully in imaginary circumstances. So basically you build that up and you build up that belief that you are this character and these problems are your own problems. And so that makes, to me, whenever I do that, it makes the emotion a lot more real for me, where I'm like, when I get into the characters, like when Mothball does leave in like in episode 6, I am feeling heartbroken because it's like, oh no, come back.
Yeah, I remember channeling my inner like heartbroken soul when I was doing that whole Applejack on my own cover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, on my own, I'm so sad.
And in a sense, when I did the finale of Bride of Discord, I was trying to channel in sort of, my inner turmoil when, when Discord was fighting against his reflection of, letting Fluttershy go. I had to alternate between, it's like, what are you doing? You're the Lord of Chaos, you shouldn't be acting like this, versus, I'll never love again after she left me. You have to really look within your soul, feel, like, if you ever felt that way in your life, then be sure to let it show.
Yeah, and also feel things not at a 5, not at an 8, feel things at a 15 out of 10.
Recording in the dark during a scary moment actually really helps.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Even just writing a scary moment, like I will just be writing a scary scene, and then when I'm done, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in the dark.
Oh, and if you have neighbors or someone living with you, if you're going to scream, let them know beforehand.
Yeah, I actually, last tangent before we move on, it's funny you mentioned that, I actually did have another a voice actress friend of mine who goes by the name of Emo Gak. She was recording some death screams for a scary story, and I believe one time she actually got a knock on her door from the police asking if everything was okay. I was like, no, everything's fine, I'm just recording, just sorry for if I was disturbing the peace or not.
I've actually done that too, not the police. This is back way before ponies and everything. I was this makes me feel old. I was 17 at this time when this happened. I'm 27 now, so this is a very long time. My first acting gig, I worked at a haunted house. And I was a caged experiment. I'm screaming, I'm yelling. We actually had people next door who worked at a restaurant who knew there was a haunted house come over and say, we heard screaming, is everybody okay? No, it's just one of our actors. She's really getting into it.
Yeah, my first year of college, that was like Bride of Discord era, and I was like doing my Rainbow Dash voice, and I had the noisiest dorm my first year, so I'd have to wait for time where nobody's playing soccer upstairs, and then I had to like do my Rainbow Dash voice, and I'd be doing lines like, "You keep away from her, you creep!" And then my roommate would just come in, and fortunately she knew what I was doing. She's like, "Yeah, I heard you from down the hall."
Fun actor stories. Yeah.
Any more stuff on voice acting?
Something that was brought up last year, and I would love to reiterate again. Improving live. Especially in your audition, if you are given, if it's written in the notes like, hey, you can feel free to improv. You are free to improv. If they don't write anything indicating improv,
don't do it. They don't want it.
Yeah, big thing. Unless the director of the project asks for it, you follow their guidelines to a T.
Yeah, I highly encourage it. Like I put ad-liberation or ad-lib in places I especially want people to improvise. But yeah, you gotta watch out for that. I think we have a question.
Yeah, before you left voice acting, you are voicing a pre-existing character. Do you find it somewhat important to try to sound like him still?
As long as it's believable that that voice would be coming out of that mouth, that's basically the most important thing. Like,
And as long as like you're not so focused on sounding like that character that the emotion is completely lost, and you're like, yeah, you're just focusing on sounding like Fluttershy, and you don't really have any other emotion other than.
Yeah, you have to find a balance. It's like what I said earlier. It's like if you can do a great impression of a character, that's great, but you also have to act as that character. You need to have a very healthy balance of both. And even then, if by some chance you do a terrible impression of a character, that in and of itself could be a new character. I actually was taught this by one of my inspirations in voice acting, Rob Paulson. Who you might know as Yakko Warner and Animaniacs.
Among other things.
But yeah,
A long list of other things.
Even if an impression of someone that you try to do isn't 100%, that in and of itself could be a completely different character. But as long as you can still act as that character, that's what's most important.
Yes. Yeah. Example of one time when I was breaking impersonation was episode 6 of Bride of Discord, when I had to sing that song and very emotionally, and also do this breakdown, and I kind of broke out of my upchuck for a little bit and was just kind of doing a semblance of the southern accent, going like, "Spag asked me to said it was weird, and I said yes, and I said it was okay with it, but not." Like I was just breaking down with what was such a my DJ voice, but I just didn't care at the moment. Some other questions?
Yeah, I just have a question, Stina. When you said that the voice doesn't make the character, it's the acting, I just want to say it louder for the one in the back, because I've had so many people tell me that I have to be exactly like the character, and it is annoying.
Yeah.
another thing you got to keep in mind, though, also is that with different directors comes different preferences too. That's another thing, because like sometimes like I'll voice Celestia for someone, and they'll be like, "I love it, I super love it," and then there are other people are like, "That's not Celestia. What is this?" And like,
you're not going to be able to please
everyone.
Just one more.
Yeah, just one more question, and then we'll save questions for later.
This is for Discord.
Yes.
You mentioned you had this scene where Discord is talking to his mirror self. How do you record those? Do you do all your lines as, emotion Discord, and then a separate session, all your lines as...
You would think that I would, but no, I actually did back and forth, back to back to back. In a sense, yeah, I did.
He basically pulled a Family Guy. Cool Whip, Cool Whip, Cool Whip, Cool Whip.
But yeah, some voice actors do that, others don't. I prefer to, do the back and forth thing because it kind of shows how versatile I am. Another one of my inspirations, Billy West. He's the voice of both Ren and Stimpy. He goes back and forth between each character when he records. He doesn't do just all of one character's lines and then all of the other character's lines. He does both. Yeah, he has to bounce off each other, especially for all three of his roles in Futurama. Philip J. Fry, Zap Brannigan, Soyberg, all the other characters he voices, he does go back and forth. Wow. So it works for others, it doesn't work for some, it depends on preference.
Ask the pony actors at their panels. Okay, so I think we talked about enough of voice acting, let's move on to artwork so she can talk.
Okay, once the script is all set up, we usually have like a picking up like each scene, like sometimes it'll be shorter or longer, so we like pick like 3, like from the one you most want to the least, and when you get that assigned, you're like, okay, you gotta do storyboards of all that stuff.
I'm just trying to find your artwork.
Okay, it's in there somewhere.
Oh, the artwork.
So once you get your lots of pictures all went onto this box, like with me, other people.
There.
like Enstone and ZD and lots of other people that I'm trying to remember because there were a lot of artists for this project. Yes. Do you know how many artists were like on this project? Do you remember?
Too many.
I think like 18, 20, something like that. Sure. Well, for this episode in total, I have no idea. I've lost count.
Last episode was a little crazy. But once you get your script, what I personally do is like well, a lot of us do. We would have like a little storyboard, like little stick figures or something like that, or quick sketches. So that way, when DM would see it, she'll be like, okay, that's how they would see it. And then we'll go on to like the next episode. Yep, that's what I did for the very last episode. And I love the little roundness and so
I forget. Did you design Boulders of Core or did you design multiple disguise?
I did the disguise.
Yeah.
That one just like came out of nowhere, and the cutie mark, I intended to make that hard with the magnifying glass as like a little sign of what to do, what's going to happen.
Oh, I get it. That's clever.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of the times in the mothball disguises that you can tell what exactly is his intention by what his cutie mark is.
You remember the mask in episode 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised that I saw in the comments one person got that. I was like, that was my intention.
And then the question mark in episode 7. It was a question mark. Yeah, in episode 7, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And like, once you got your quick sketches, I do line art. And actually this one was done with both the programs I use is Paint Tool Side and Inkscape. Some of the Inkscape work I did with Zecora, that one per se. And Inkscape is a free vector site, so you actually can get this. It's an open source, you can get it online, download it. It's pretty simple once you get used to it, but...
Once you get used to
It can be scary, but once you've been doing it for a long time, I've been doing it since episode 3 of Daughter of Discord. I almost said Bride of Discord. I was never in Bride of Discord.
It's right in words.
Yeah, I was here since the very first of Daughter of Discord. And that's just like scary to me. Like, ooh, that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think you did the hospital scene.
Yep, I did the hospital. I took over ZD.
Yeah.
And I cringe at what I did there because I was like starting to use a pen tablet and I was just like, oh my goodness.
But you made them look so cute.
They looked a little chubby to me.
That's really cute.
And actually, it's because of like some of the artwork that I saw in Daughter's Discord that I remember I hired you for
A commission.
for a commission for a cover that me and him did,
Yes.
17 from Heather's.
Yes.
I still remember it because like you showed me and you're like, what do you think? And I'm like, I'm a Pegasus, not an Earth Pony.
You can start going out too.
But everything else looks great.
Yeah. I was just like, oh my goodness.
That happens a lot actually. Missing horn, missing wings that I often have to point out to like.
Or with Prism, have her the same color as Rainbow Dash when she's different.
Continuity is important.
And unfortunately,
Oh, yeah.
if you're a director and if you don't point it out, the commenters will, and they'll be like, this is dumb.
They never let you comment down. Trust me, I see all the comments.
Yeah.
It's like every movie nerd who goes in, watches a movie, tries to find everything that's wrong with the picture, and it's like, there's the boom mic, shadow, continuity
Also,
error.
they're like cinema sins then.
Yes.
Cinemark then. What's even worse is if I don't notice them, then it's there set in stone.
But
Yeah.
knowing like like they said with the mistakes, we have to like talk about if there's scenes that are in the same room, we have to be the same. Like Screwball's room. Screwball's room was a fun room.
Oh God, the
Because, like, you have-
It reflects my personality.
Yeah, consistency, it really is key, especially like if you're doing one scene with multiple artists, I would think. Like,
Yes.
like I know like,
Discord's house, oh boy.
yeah, or even like the first fight scene in episode 6 where it's like in one of the master bedrooms. Like part of it was done by one artist, and the other one was done, I believe, by BronyCon, I think. Something like that?
I don't remember if it was in the Bride Discord. The Bride Discord is
The
different.
first fight scene
Yeah.
between Discord before Screwball runs away.
Well, I know it's on the master bedroom in like episode 1 was done by Marky.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you would definitely like need to like communicate with the other artists to make sure that it's.
To make sure the vision stays the
Yeah,
same
yes.
for one scene.
I want to cheat.
Yes, so characters too, especially original characters, even if they only show up for like 1 or 2 scenes, consistency is important. Like, I remember episode 7 where we had like, one stallion was like there for just a couple scenes, and then I get to the final one from one artist, and it's totally different from the others, and I'm like, this is not the design for this stallion. Like, what do you mean? Well, this is the design we agreed on. Wait, what? I thought you got the message. yeah, we were just kind of going back and forth.
Communication is key.
Yes.
Yeah, references and stuff like that really help a lot in that sense. And
Yeah. Like doing these scenes, you could do like a couple pictures or be like me and do probably about 11 or 13 pictures and mentally tell yourself, yell at yourself, why'd I do so many pictures?
Why did you? I didn't
or be
remember
like
that.
Marky, you get like
I don't
20 plus.
It's like the artist, like the animator in me.
Yeah, I already know, like even for like other projects, I noticed like marking. I know he does.
Yes.
He did some art. Like I know he also does a lot of artwork for Magpie Pony and Pinky Tails and Princess Trixie Sparkle. I see you out there. Like Marking does so many images. It's almost like he's making like
It's almost like he's a machine where he's just like
an animatic
image.
slash animation hybrid sort of shtick.
He definitely helped me with my project starting out too, but like I did not know what I was doing, and I accidentally made him do 69 pictures, and I'm like, I'm so sorry.
And poor Pokey, who ended up doing like 30 pictures. I told you not to do that much. But she
was excited she did.
But
yeah, in the end, like sometimes we like, I love this picture, or I hate how this looks. Like I don't even post for it. Well, that's just like the artist like was thinking. Like I think the one that I did not, the stuff that I really didn't like is my art in episode 7 because I did all those pictures in one day.
Well done.
Let's go. Yeah, it was really small.
Yeah, while that is admirable of you, just note to other artists out there, even though you may be given a deadline, please try to pace yourself and don't burn yourself out.
I don't know how. I keep checking every week, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Or just so you know, the deadline's coming soon. Or can I get an update, please?
Yeah, I got that myself at that.
Yeah, that's like why I give kind of a sketches or a line art deadline like a few weeks after I give the assignment, so at least we have the established scenes there.
But luckily, Inkscape was my savior. Inkscape was my savior with that, because that's what I did all through those pictures, Inkscape.
Yeah.
Vectors are my favorite, are love. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so 11:40 now. Let's take a moment to talk about music.
Oh, yes. All right. Hey, how you doing? All right. So for Daughter Discord, we have like custom songs as well as background instrumental stuff going on in the background when everyone's talking. And so basically, when she had the composer audition, and I was already planning on doing it for my project, and I was just like, ooh. I've been really sending in my stuff so far, and she's like, oh, I'm like, sweet! Okay, but basically, what my process for it is, once I get the audio for the episode, whether it's like a couple scenes or the whole thing, I just start humming along with the audio, thinking like, okay, this works. Okay, that works. Okay, that's crap, get rid of that. And then basically after that, then I just listen to it and then plug in the notes on a piano on my on FL Studio 11, and that's the basic one of the oh my gosh, composing programs. I can words. I can totally words right now.
It's one of the most basic music programs that you could use.
And then basically after that, then I do, if it's a song, I do a click track. Thank you for giving me that term, by the way, last year. That was amazing. But it was, so that way people know what they're listening to.
You mean like a metronome?
Yeah,
Metronome, so they can follow the rhythm.
and so that way, especially if there's no change in notes, like, and you're supposed to be like singing, I don't know what I'm doing here, or something like that. So that way, whenever it gets to the next note, you're not like, oh, that's where it is, okay.
Yeah, click tracks are very, at least for me, I found it very helpful, especially when it's like, this is like, you hear a note, you're supposed to hold it for like 1, 2, 3, 4. Because time for me, I'm terrible with it, and so it's like, okay, so this is how long you need to hold it, then we go to the next note, yes!
And also you need to sing or have someone sing a sample of the song, whether it's a parody or an original song, because otherwise, especially if it's a group song, you're gonna get a cacophony. You're gonna be like,
I made the mistake with episode 2 of Brighter Discord of not sending a voice demo because it was all over the place. So like
Like a
one
music
of them
guide
wasn't
source.
even on
like
key.
where to breathe and where to.
Yeah, I can definitely vouch for that too, because like another project that both me and True were in that also utilizes like, click track and vocal guides was the symphonic metal opera Fall of an Empire by the L Train. And he provided not just the lyrics, but he provided several different MP3s of different sections of the song. Alto, soprano, bass, tenors, and all that, which harmony to sing for the chorus, and how the melody goes for the main singers. And I gotta tell you, especially in big group projects like this, it makes everything come together so nicely.
Yeah, and it's really helpful for like not only just like holding notes, but for like ending a note too. Because otherwise you get like if you have a bunch of things ending in consonants, you get a lot of instead of just one single.
Now we come to ending. And I'm just like, when I started hearing like everything come together for that, I'm like.
The finale, that was really to edit. It's short, but it's a lot of voices together. I had to make sure they all sing together. But like especially because some of them like pause like half a second before. Like I think some of yours like just half a second before. Like you went generic finale or something like that, and it just had to make small adjustments, and then it had to adjust the volume to make sure it's not all like.
Oh yeah, as an audio mixer myself for other projects I'm in, it's tedious, but it's worth it.
Yeah, don't overpower the vocals, but don't also overpower like the background, the music.
Yeah.
Words. But then also after like the song guides are done, or if you're done the partial composition stage with just the piano, then you go on to add all the fluff and padding, basically your harmonies, your counter melodies, you add your, add a little bit of echo here, then also add multiple different instruments, like your percussion. I'm getting like super into the percussion stuff lately. Like,
oh yeah, especially the finale.
It's just like the, I'm just like, ah, kick it! But yeah. And then after all that's done, then I sent DF both, the song guide, the instrumental, both with ticks and both without the ticks, the click track. I mean, sorry, I always say ticks for some reason. Like, is anyone intrigued? Just kidding. But basically after that, then she goes and edits all the voices in. And then we kind of go back and forth just to make sure like the volumes and everything are just right. And also with the changeling sound effect and everything.
Oh yeah.
The changing sound effect for talking versus singing is different, we found out. Because if you go lower, like when you do the chrysalis or mothball or anything like that, it makes your voice flat. Whereas like if you go higher, it makes it sound a lot better. Like, well, actually, it depends on if your voice tends to naturally go flat or go sharp. But you just kind of tweak it until you get it just right. But like the changeling sound effect, I think sounds a lot more like with the battle song than like Hearts Were Made for Breaking, where it's like you're king, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no!
With the most chaotically reprised, I had to like play around with Mothball's voice because I told the voice actor to intentionally do it kind of awkwardly and not necessarily on key, so it's kind of all over the place. And when I had to do the pitch change of the second layer, I'm like, okay, and then True suggested that I go higher instead of lower. Like, oh, actually, that sounds a lot better.
Much better. It's so good.
Yeah, a lot of it, especially when trying to figure out changing sound effects. From what you told me, it seems a lot like a just trial and error. But when you find that sweet spot, again, that's why it's called sweet spot.
When you hit that spot just right.
Oh my!
And how we come up with the songs, well, most of the songs in Daughter Discord, I actually came up with, like, I would just send True this kind of rough demo. Okay, so this is Chrysalis's villain song, like she's singing to Mothball, like, hearts are made for breaking. And at this point, we have this whole chorus of changes going, love is for the meek, for the strong to make them weak. And at the same time, Chrysalis is singing this, and it just has the changelings keep going on.
And then background vocals. This is the first time I actually emailed her after, because she sent the rough demo to everybody. I actually emailed her back and I'm like, can I help sing this song, please? I really love this song. She's like, I need high voices. Everyone keeps singing the low voices. Can you sing high? I'm like, yes.
Yeah, she's a great soprano. With Hearts Were Made for Breaking, she was saying it was kind of more like That's My Lullaby and Be Prepared type style from
with a little bit of Mother Knows
Mother Knows Best.
Oh, yeah.
And so I kind of wanted to add that background vocal that's because it sounded like that much more ghostly and it's gonna get ya.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is what we're doing.
Although the battle song was actually all True's idea.
Oh.
I mean, I added in extra lyrics, but she just sent me a whole bunch of instrumental ideas for songs. Like, you have a lot of song ideas. I'm sorry I couldn't put them all in. But when I heard the battle, and I'm like, oh my, oh my God, I love this instrumental so much. And you didn't really have, you had a few lyric ideas, I loved you, but you tossed me away. That was your idea, and then I just kind of filled in the blanks.
I'm not a lyricist, I am not.
I needed this in here, and plus it's a lot more interesting than just a bunch of pew, 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 pew. Yeah.
And then also it was your idea to add in the Fluttershy part.
It
was so, that's what we were talking about last year quietly, but we couldn't say anything because spoilers.
That was fun to sing.
Yes.
And it just brought the whole song together. It's
Yeah, it did actually.
Yeah, I think I creeped DaWillstanator out while I was singing this song, and he's just like, Katie, cut it out. I'm like, very much.
That was a good take, but
I get cast in a lot of horror projects, and so I'm really good at being creepy.
All right, we have about 10 minutes left, so we're gonna take this time. If you've been watching my channel, then you would know that we are planning to do a couple of animatic shorts which serve as prequels to Daughter of Discord. So these are animatics. They won't be full-on animation, so they'll be like a storyboard. Like if you've ever watched behind-the-scenes features of animated movies, this is what they start out with before they do the full animated scene. So I'm working with 3 different animatic artists for 3 different shorts. Okay, the first one of the things that I regretted in Daughter Discord is that I made so many characters and I didn't get to spend enough time with some of them to develop their characters. Most notably, Cinnamon Stick and Cinnamon Roll. Gosh, I wish Cougar was here right now. Cinnamon Stick and Cinnamon Roll, who are the adopted siblings of Applejack and Spike. Yes, I ship Applejack and Spike when Spike is older, okay?
He was born around the same time as, well, not the same time as Twilight, but within a couple years.
We get it.
Yeah, anyway, and I always like kind of wanted to do a backstory of, you know, who the Cinnamon siblings were before they got adopted, and Applejack and Spike deciding that they want to have a kid and thinking that it wouldn't be possible for them. Yeah, so yeah, let's just open this up.
Oh, shit.
Who wants pie?
Me.
All right, take it easy now.
There's plenty of pie and toys to go around.
I want pie.
Turn the volume up, please. Sound guys.
One at a time, please. All right. Okay. Whoa, okay.
It looks nice. We gotta sit together, remember?
We got some more in the back. Don't worry, don't worry.
What do you think?
They're all so adorable. How can we choose?
We'll figure it out. Okay. Now who wants a brand new bouncy?
Uh-oh.
No, stop. What are you doing? Here's your ball, Mr. Spike.
Thanks, but you can keep it. Yeah, you bought it for all of you, after all.
Well, aren't you just the cutest little cinnamon roll? How'd you know my name?
Oh, my heart!
I got us beat.
As you can see, CC, I chose their artwork for this one because the adorableness was needed. And yes, Ice Gaze is a very adorable cinnamon roll. Speaking of Ice Gaze, our second short also deals with cinnamon siblings, well actually just cinnamon roll. One of the things I really loved about doing with Daughter of Discord is I had so many, voice actors doing minor characters, and yet they just brought so much more to the roles that I never really imagined. For example, Katie making Apple Blossom so much sassier, and
You're welcome.
yeah. Or even with Mothball, like Rock 29 Roll, he just like added these really snarky comments to just give a little more humor. Like,
I pray.
Like, my hooves, they have no holes in them. They're so tired and weird.
Oh no, I said the F word.
Or the Joel Beetle line.
Yes.
That was improv.
Yeah, Ice Gaze, who voices Cinnamon Roll, just took it a step further. Like, I think it was about a year ago that she did this this parody song cover on her channel. Which just brought more to the character of Cinnamon Roll. Based on this one line she had in episode 7, like, why can't you have any friends with kids my age, Ma? Everyone's either 15 or 9 or a baby. I'm just the awkward 12-year-old with no click. And from this came this video. Maybe you know the song that this is parodying.
We are in the bathroom.
Find out.
What do you say, ponies? Does this party rock or what?
This takes place between episode 5.
Alright, now it's time to bring it down a notch. Every pony, grab your sweethearts for a little slow dance.
next case ever comes to BronyCon, I'm squishing her cheeks.
Maybe this is why she skipped out.
Well, what she looks like, and she's just adorable.
Yeah. So that, if you didn't know, that was from the musical Be More Chill, as parody of Michael in the Bathroom. It's Michael, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Michael.
Yeah. Okay. And last but not least, this is way prequel. Okay, and I've already announced that I will not be adapting the third fanfic in the series, Son-in-Law of Discord, into audio drama. Which is kind of sad because there were some scenes I really loved, especially some flashback scenes that you saw I worked into Daughter of Discord, and yeah, okay, so we learned a few things about Chrysalis in the final episode, and well, it's kind of leading up to that.
Like, there's more than just something.
Spoilers! Yeah, so she's searching for help from a very unlikely source, but you all know the source. You're right.
It's Fluttershy.
Somber credit. The crystal ponies looked positively miserable in chains. I think he and my mother would have gotten along swimmingly.
Who goes there?
King Sombra, I presume.
A changeling?
Queen of the changelings, to be exact.
You honor me with your presence, your majesty.
You don't mind my being here?
I have nothing against you changelings. But tell me, what brings you to my kingdom?
I hear you are skilled in dark magic.
It comes naturally for us shadow ponies.
I need a spell. Something that regular magic cannot accomplish. If you can help me, my army will be at your disposal, should those goody-goody princesses come to dethrone you.
What sort of spell?
Something that can rid one of emotions, specifically love.
Don't you changelings do that already?
Yes, but it is forbidden for a changeling to do that to another. And even if that wasn't the case, it would leave the victim weak and helpless.
This spell wouldn't happen to be for yourself now, would it? Very well. Keep your secrets. I think I know what you're looking for. Follow me. I'll take you to my private study.
Now, these shorts will be completed in their own time and will be uploaded on YouTube. You'll see the previews again on YouTube soon, after the convention.
Yes.
Okay, we have like 2 minutes, so any last minute thoughts or questions? Oh boy, more than I expected.
All right.
I saw the guy in the red hat earlier who wanted to ask a question earlier. Yes, you.
Yes, you.
So I was wondering, basically, I mean, this is a big project. We're all part of it. Mothball is not. Who's Mothball?
Rock 29 roll, also known as Kamikaze.
Well, I'm a sucker. But
Aren't we all?
I love. This is my favorite of every single fan fiction I've ever read. This is my favorite. Every single one. I wrote. In fact, I love it so much. I made a binder and put a cover and gave a whole bunch of stuff. Now I know how to basically book it. And so I wanted you to sign it if you could, but not now. But
Okay, afterwards or probably outside.
My question, sorry. Because it's a big project, and the pressure is real because there's a lot of people that are telling you. When's the next one going to be out? And it can take a long time. I'm so sorry about that, but how do you deal with that? How do you
Well, speaking from a cast member standpoint, I just kind of ignore it and just like go bake cookies or something.
It'll come soon. I just yell in the privacy of my own room.
Yeah, for me, I sort of have this mindset. It's like, you want it so bad? Why don't you make it?
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens on our shoes. But yeah, whenever I see comments like that from an actor's standpoint, I'm like, oh, that's cute. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I'm afraid we're out of time. We don't have time to answer any more questions.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so sorry. We kind of blabbered on a lot too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm correct, we will be able to take more questions and sign stuff outside outside the vendor hall in this hallway right here. So
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you everybody for coming out today.